Take us through, this fight and kind of how important it is for you. I mean, this is huge for a lot of people, and it seems huge for the division. But for you, how important does it feel right now?
It's everything on my mind right now. It's been my focus from before it was a reality. It's been on my mind, and just the opportunity to fight for the UFC is huge, and I'm not going to waste that opportunity. So I'm really excited.
It seems like the magnitude of the fight for a first UFC fight is bigger for you than most. I mean, this seems like a big opponent, an important opponent. It almost seems like a number one contender fight right out of the gate.
Absolutely.
Do you kind of relish that opportunity, or would you prefer a slower build? Does that make sense?
For sure. I feel very lucky to be in the position I'm in. I know most people don't have a path like this to the UFC, or making their debut kind of in a higher spot already. But I'm soaking it in. I'm ready for it, and so I feel just lucky to be in the spot I'm in. Would it have been a whole different path, starting from the bottom of the division, of a more stacked division? Yeah, it would have been. I mean, it's a whole different story, so it's not really something I've dwelled on. It's not. I knew coming into this that this was going to be big, and that my next steps, my steps in my career have always been big, so I'm used to it. Kind of expecting it.
I haven't checked your official height. Are you like 5'8", 5'9"?
6.
5'6". Okay. She's got 6 inches on you. I mean, is that something you? Tell me about sort of the game planning and the prep work that goes into fighting an opponent that's that tall, because she is a little bit unique, I would say, for a women's fighter being that tall.
6 inches doesn't impress me that much. It's, every fight, I've kind of paid attention more recently. Every single card has at least one fight that has a 6-inch discrepancy. Okay. And the shorter fighter wins a lot. It's definitely something I've paid attention to, and it's not something that I'm worried about. I think it plays to my advantage a little bit in certain areas.
Does it create any difficulties in training camp and finding somebody to work with?
Not really. I come from a great gym. The jungle is very diverse in our skill set, and our, just the team has a lot of variety in height and size and specialties. So I just draw from the people that I work with and I'm already comfortable with, and I had a great camp. I'm really excited.
I asked her this too. I mean, do you see yourself doing this when you're 40 years old? Still being in a fight game?
No, I don't see that. I think there's a time to stop. So I'm just going to push as hard as I can for the time that I do have. I try to think of myself as, I have a decent head on my shoulders, and I don't want to, go farther than I need to.
You're a teacher?
I am, yeah.
So is teaching the side hustle, or is fighting the side hustle?
Teaching kind of pays the bills, but I am very passionate about teaching. I teach at my gym. I teach kids class, so teaching is always going to be a part of my life. But I do also, want to have a future that I understand, especially, when I was going to school and everything. Women fighting wasn't even something that could have paid the bills, So I always just kind of had a good backup plan, or I balance it well, though. It's a lot. Not everyone can handle a lot of what I maybe balance with work and training, but I take on every challenge with everything I got. So.
What do the kids think about you fighting?
To clarify, I teach at an online school, so okay. A lot of them haven't mentioned it because I talk to them on the phone a lot. That's a lot of what I do, and their parents. But some of them have, said, "Hey, I Googled you," and then I get I guess maybe a little shy about it because I've always been a little bit timid about mixing my two worlds, just for what other people. I used to think maybe they wouldn't think of it in a good way, but I think I can really portray it in a good way, and kind of push them to push for their dreams, but also not forget that you need a backup plan, So I work full time and I'm in the UFC, it's you can't just put everything, into one bucket.
Sure. When we spoke coming in, you said you weren't too nervous, you had the experience with Invicta. Now that you're here in Fight Week, what is the feeling? Is it nerves? Is it excitement? Everything?
Yeah, I feel really comfortable. I mean, the emotions come in waves with more nerves, but I think I keep saying it's like the healthiest, emotion that I've had, as far as like containing myself and just being mostly excited and really comfortable. It kind of feels like Invicta. There's a little bit, a few more cameras around, a few different things to do, but I feel really prepared for this experience, and then I hope that translates in the cage for that experience too.
A lot was made about her weight cut coming in. ESPN did a story. We talked to her today. She said, yeah, it is a hard cut. For yourself, what is the cut like to 145?
I cut too. Honestly, she mentioned that she was like 156 yesterday, so that doesn't sound like a crazy cut to me. I think every fighter is cutting at least 15 pounds of water, myself included. So I don't see anything that crazy. I know she's a little, she's pretty ripped already, coming in to her fight camps, but the cut is what all of us do, and we're all fighting in a division that we cut to. So.
You mentioned maybe being a role model for like your students, for people in general. How awesome is it to have this platform now where you can speak to a wider audience and be that kind of inspiration for them, for the 145 division, for everything?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just feel really grateful to be in this position and to hopefully have a positive influence on the children and and the growth of my division too, for sure.